Chapter 4. Home. 42 sat in one of the seats. Coop and 42 arrived at 167th Street. They got off the train. They walked up the stairs out of the subway. They walked down the hill towards Webster Avenue. 2000 hours. They made it to Lockheed's building. They, they walked in like they owned the place. When they got to the fourth floor, they saw the door at the end of the hall riddled with bullet holes. 42 looked at Coop. They thought to themselves, that must be it. 42 pushed the compartment on the side of his right thigh. Two doors automatically opened to allow access to his blaster. He put his hand on the blaster, pulls it out, flipped on a red beam of light, and got down on one knee. He had Coop's back. He was ready for anything. Coop kicked in the door to find a beautiful woman lying on the floor. She picked herself up onto her left elbow. Coop flashed his badge at her and said, "We would like to ask you a few questions." 42 heard the hinge of the door creak. He turned towards the sound. It was the closet. He noticed a gun sticking out. He fired several shots into the closet. There is a thump. The dead man falls out the door into a pool of blood all over the floor. "We are looking for a Mr. Lockheed," said Coop. "I'm Lockheed, you idiot," said the lady, getting up off the floor, rubbing her head. "It's been 14 hours and 30 days since I called the feds. Shit. We need to get the girl first. Without her, Rico's powers are useless. There is a club in Brooklyn where his mob hangs out," said Lockheed. 42 checking out Lockheed said, "Damn, you're fine." Lockheed looked at the two men. "Are you listening to me?" the lady asked, raising her voice. "We might find out something." The lady headed out the door. The two men followed. As they walked to the subway, the woman went on about her spent mission. "I had an army. Rico and his zombies took them out in a week. He had some of them kill each other. The only one left was Sergeant Roderick, and you killed him. 3,500 hours. This is our stop. Be ready, the mob is no joke," said Lockheed. There was a chill in the air. 42 looked at Lockheed and a thought came to him. How could she wear what she is wearing in this weather? Damn, she's good looking. Lockheed was wearing a white, tight-fitting muscle shirt where you can see her belly button and a black, tight-fitting leather miniskirt. They got to the club where Rico's mob hangs out. There it is, Club Top. Lockheed pointed out a guard at the corner of the building about to take a leak. Coop looked at 42. 42, take out that guard. 42 ran over to the guard while the guard was taking a piss, gave a jump kick. He kicked the guard in the back of the head. His face hit the brick wall with such a force, his skull cracked, blood gushing from his mouth as he fell to the ground. 42 went down with him, holding his body so he can go down quickly. Coop crossed the street to the club. He got to the door. 42 walked towards him and took out his weapon. Coop reached into the compartment in the back of his suit and pulled out 2 small balls. Opening the door of the club a little, he pitched the balls into the club. The guys were in the club drinking, smoking, and shooting pool, having a good time. All of a sudden, there is smoke everywhere. Coop entered the club. 42 followed him in. Lockheed stayed outside to keep an eye out for more of Rico's gang. Coop went to the left. 42 took the right and started blasting everyone in sight. Body parts flew as Rico's men pulled out. Some didn't even have time to draw their weapon. Some didn't have time to scream. Boo, 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 boo. Rat-a-tat-tat, 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 boo, 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 boo. Rat-a-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat. Some of them were dazed from watching a beam of red light dance around the room, only to end up in the middle of their head. The power pellets used in the blasters will destroy flesh and bone, but has no effect on walls and inanimate objects unless you put it to armor piercing, therefore leaving no trace of them ever being here. Lockheed came into a war room. Bullets flying everywhere as a thick smoke consumed the room. Lockheed ran past 42 and disappeared into the smoke-filled room. She got down low as she moves towards the back of the room. She pulls out a small knife from the back of her shirt and comes up behind one of the men, shooting quickly and silently, put her left hand on his chin and slit his throat from ear to ear with her right hand. She slits his throat with her right hand. She pulled his head to the left, turning his head all the way around, almost ripping it off. A man seen Lockheed and started to shoot her, but she took the same knife and threw it, stabbing the man in the neck. She then picks up her first victim's gun, an AK-47, and started shooting everyone in sight. A transmission comes over Coop's microsonic brain. It was CP1, stashed away in 42's pocket. Coop, there is an outgoing call coming from upstairs. Coop responds, "Gotcha." Coop runs up the stairs and slowed down when he got to the top. He listens for a voice. He hears it. It's coming from a room on the top of the stairs. The door is slightly open. There was a man on the phone. Coop walks in with a beam of light pointed at the head of the man on the phone. The man was arguing with the receptionist, who had just put him on hold. "What? Bitch, don't put me on hold, bitch." "Put down the phone," Coop said in a stern voice. The man did not comply, so Coop shot him once in the head. His blaster blows his head completely off, leaving the torso still standing with the phone still in his hand, then turns the gun to the guard standing in the corner of the office with his hands up. "Where is the girl?" Coop asked in a stern voice. "The files are in the file cabinet, top drawer, under the letter G," the guard said in a shaky voice, pointing at the file cabinet behind Coop. When Coop went to look in the file cabinet for the file, the guard reached for a gun from a holster inside his jacket pocket. Coop lifted his leg as to kick, and out comes a small blade from the bottom of his boot, stabbing the guard in the head. He got it right between the eyes. A small 2-inch penknife-type blade protruded from the guard's frontal lobe. Coop found the files on the girl and headed out the door, down the stairs, and out the front door. Lockheed and 42 were waiting for Coop outside in the alley around the corner. They were standing in front of 2 hot cars. They just stood there, like they were waiting for a long time. 42 turned to Coop with a boyish grin on his face and said, "Lockheed got us a couple of cars." Coop held out his hand and gesturing 42 to throw him the keys. 42 threw him the keys. Lockheed got into Coop's face as he was walking towards the older of the 2 sports cars, a 1964 model. The car was a red and white convertible, a lightweight American roadster. "We can't let him get away. He's getting away. He could let Rico know we're here," said Lockheed. "Let me take him out from here," begged 42. Croup said, "No, Blockhead and I will get him. And besides, we got the we got what we need. You and CP1 go back to Blockhead's apartment and wait for us there." 42 programmed CP1 to open the doors of a sleek black 1985 model Italian sports car. 42 got into the car, started it up, closed the door, and burned rubber all the way down the street, leaving the alley full of smoke from the burned rubber.